Hey, it's the Ordinary Magician here, and this is my performance and tutorial for a trick I call Messy Deck Restored. For this trick I'll be using my Bicycle Guardian deck. So as you see, we have a deck of cards here, and all the cards are facing the same direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a big mess, and we're going to mess up the cards, making it as messy as we can. So basically what we end up with is we end up with cards to face down and face up, other cards are face up, face down, and we even have some cards in the middle that are face back to back. So all we do is we put the deck back together, and with a quick wave and a snap of our fingers, we end up with all the cards back to facing the same way. And that is Messy Deck Restored. Okay, so now it's time for the tutorial. This is a beginner trick and shouldn't take too much practice before you can perform it comfortably. So all you need is a regular deck of cards, and you're going to start off by taking the deck of cards, and you're going to perform a forward spring. What that does is it shows that all the cards are in fact facing the same direction, but it has a second purpose. It puts a bend in the cards, and that'll come into play later. You don't necessarily need that exaggerated of a bend. Just a little bend will be fine, but this deck is kind of soft, so it's bending a bit more. So what you're going to do is you push out a stack of cards on top, and you're going to flip them over. So now you have some cards that are facing up, and they're back to back with the rest of the deck that's facing down. So the next step is to push off another block of cards, and you're going to flip them over again. But this time what you're actually doing is you're flipping the top stack and restoring them back to normal order. So again, you're still in the same position where you have some cards facing up, back to back with other cards facing down. You can do this over and over again, and you'll always end up in the same position. Now the idea is to keep the deck messy like this, because that creates the illusion that you're actually messing up the deck. When in fact, no matter how many times you do it, you'll always be in the same position where you have cards facing up, back to back with cards facing down. So once you've done it enough where you think the spectator is now convinced that the deck is completely messed up, you bring the deck back into this position. And now you're going to show the spectator, and you're going to prove to the spectator that it's in fact messed up. So earlier when you did the card spring, that created that break. Again, it doesn't have to be that exaggerated of a break, but it's fine if it is. You're going to cover the back. If you hold it in like a biddle grip, it'll cover off the gap in the front, and you just kind of dip the front down a bit. So the first step is to grab below the break, showing that you have cards that are face down, other cards face up. Then you're going to restore it back. You're going to grab above the break, showing that you have cards face up, other cards face down. And then you're going to grab at the break, showing that in the middle you have cards back to back. So now when you put it back, you're going to flip the deck. You've now restored the deck back to normal order. Do your magical wave, snap, whatever you want to do, and then you can do a spread showing that you've restored the deck back to normal order. I've seen this trick performed other ways. One way that I have seen it performed where it's actually performed from the spread. I actually prefer it the in-hand way, making it look messy, but I've seen it performed very successfully where they've basically taken the deck and gone along the way, collecting the cards, mixing them up like that, and again it's the same thing. It's a different way of doing it. I guess everyone's got their own preference, but my preference, and I've always had success doing it the way that I've just shown you. So again, that's Messy Deck Restored, and thank you for watching the video, and please subscribe, and there'll be other videos coming. Thanks again, and take care.